Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Inside the Walls podcast, episode 154. Today's episode is just strictly on one team only. No, we're not going to be talking about William this week, Jeff, and we're not going to be talking about Matt, so keep your finger down, Matt. We're not talking about all. Today's episode, we're talking about one of three of the new teams entering the National Arena League. This episode is dedicated to the Corpus Christi Tritons. Gents, how are we doing?
Doing well. I'm excited for this episode.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Jeff's not a rookie anymore. He's only spent, a week before we got a new team in. Now we're...
Yeah. You're hitting the episodes hot and heavy, man. They broke me in right.
Definitely.
And we got more coming next week, as we'll have Harrisburg, followed by Columbus. 2 editions of the show next week. And, of course, no further ado, we have the head coach of the Tritons on board, and we have the owner, managing partner, director of operations. He has too many titles. I gotta look up more. We got Kevin Cecil, and head coach Bradley Chavez. There we go. Welcome, gents, and welcome to Inside the Walls podcast, and welcome to. Actually, I want to say this before we get into it. Welcome, Corpus Christi family. Welcome to the National Arena League. I am Jim. It's Matt, and that's Jeff. Welcome to the National Arena League.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, guys.
Well, Kevin, as first question, not really a question. It's more of a, this is not your first time in the National Arena League. You were associated with the San Antonio Gunslingers a few years ago. As a fan, you were there and you had relations with Hector Garcia, who is one of your partners. And now you went to Corpus Christi. You had your stint in the AIF last year, and now you made the transition to the National Arena League. So it's kind of strange how it all comes back to the starting point. How's the journey been on your side?
It's been good, man. It's been great. I definitely learned a lot. I picked up a lot from Hector and the guys in San Antonio when they had the Gunslingers. It was a funny story how it all came about. We were working a part-time with our old job that we had, and we got to talking about football. And he just basically asked, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I want to do something related to team security. And then from that, it turned into, well, hey, I got an opportunity for you. Think about it, talk to your family about it, and see what you think. At this point, I had no clue what I was getting into, right? Had no idea. And yes, I had no clue. I had no clue what was happening. So I talked to the wife about it. My family discussed it, and they're like, well, shoot, take your shot, see what it is. So at that point, I came on as like an intern. I was going to basically become a GM for a Corpus team that we were going to bring back then before everything happened and changed. But through the short time that I was with Hector and the guys in San Antonio, definitely learned a lot. It was one of those where when they asked me to bring a team to Corpus, I was kind of scared. I didn't know what I was getting into because, I was only short-lived, a few months with them. And then I was like, you know what? Let's run it. Let's run it. Let's take it and see where we go from there.
What made you guys decide on Tritons for that area?
Man, we went through, I want to say 6 to 10 different logos, from like Neptune to like Phantoms to all different crazy ideas. And then Hector was actually working on the Tritons logo. So once we saw it, we're like, you know what? That's it. Poseidon, by the Bay, King Triton, the whole shebang behind it. So it was great. We said, you know what? We're sticking to that one. We're going to run with it.
And I like the color combination you guys have. It fits that area. I like how when organizations, they know their area, like Jeff's part of the Willie Miners, and everything is associated with coal and mining in West Virginia area. Of course, Matt's associated with Omaha Beef. Beef people, Omaha Beef, that's literally what they do there, is steak. So at least you're fit. At least you're not calling yourself something that's not native to that area of the country, especially by the coastline, adapting that. Also, how the fans accepted Corpus last season.
Oh, great. Endless love and support from our community and our fans. We literally built our fan base from ground up. So most teams have the finances to do marketing through like billboards and, news channels and stuff like that. We've got invited to a couple news stations to do, our interview, but a lot of it was on the ground. We were out there shaking hands and introducing ourselves, and we got a lot of slack from it at first. But once people started seeing our vision and started seeing us build towards the future of it, the foundation was there. The support was there. After we ended our season, in the AIF after the championship game, people were hitting us up like, "Hey, you guys coming back? Are you guys leaving? What's happening? We haven't heard nothing from you guys in a minute. Like, you guys are silenced." So we told them a lot of stuff was working in the back end. So once they found out we jumped into the NAL, my phone didn't stop blowing up. I think everybody's phone in our office was just going crazy, saying, "Congratulations, this is a good move for you guys. This is what was needed for Corpus." So we're excited.
Yeah, you guys, you made this announcement last week with the other teams that are joining. And there's a rich history of indoor football in Corpus Christi. So talk a little bit about how that history helps you guys to kind of continue to grow your brand and your market there in Corpus Christi.
Well, I think the main guy to ask that question to would be Coach Chavez. He was part of the teams in the past. So I'm going to let Coach Chavez take the reign on that one.
Yeah, I would say, Corpus Christi and particularly South Texas is known for football. And so, I think it was an easy carryover when I first moved to Corpus Christi after retiring from another league. Being a part of that was really good to see in the community, and it was there to show as far as the fans and the interactions and stuff. And so to continue to build on that and do great things within the community of Corpus Christi has been a blessing for us.
So is it what, the Hammerheads? Was that a team in Corpus Christi?
I'm sure that was at some point in time.
The last one was Rage, right?
I believe so, yes. The one I was a part of was the Fury, where I was the defensive coordinator for that one. We made it all the way to the championship game as well. But that was my only stint with a previous arena team there.
Well, there's history in a lot of organizations. There's history in Wheeling. There's history in Omaha. But the first thing I want to say is, like, last year's team, you had a great team. You competitive. I think you played Amarillo like 900 times and you beat them every single time. I think Amarillo was getting tired of playing you guys each week last year. How hard is it to? Not really hard. What are the positives, the difficulties, or the strengths of recruiting players to Corpus?
I think the biggest thing is just selling your vision of what you want, what you're looking for. I think for us, it was just making sure that, it was difficult bringing in a bunch of veterans to begin with. And then once they saw our success and the type of coaching staff that I have, I think that made it a lot easier. But I think for the most part, if you want to come live by the beach, you want to be around coaches that are very knowledgeable of the game and work in a great organization and be a part of something special. I think for a lot of guys, that's very enticing. And so we're very blessed to have some great players this year, and we're looking forward to recruiting a lot more.
So what are some of the teams you're looking forward to playing in the NAL this year with you guys going to a new league? I'm sure there's some teams out there that you've seen that entered the league. Obviously, you're going to play Columbus again. They'll be nice to see again. Who's somebody that new that you're going to see this season that you're intrigued to play?
I think, pretty much the only one you need to look at is the champion. And so, you've got to, keep that in the rearview mirror just a little bit, but know that we've got some work to do ourselves in the off season. But, obviously we look forward to playing Columbus again as well. But the goal is to make it to a championship game and continue to go undefeated at home. And so we know we have baby steps. We don't want to look past anything, but at the same time, we'll have our own individual goal set.
The AIF has a different rule set compared to the NAL. How's that transition going to be for you and your coaching staff?
I think it'll be an easy transition. Both coaches that I have are familiar with multiple leagues, and so I think it won't be that big of an issue because we adjusted a lot on the fly with this past season. And so I think, the main difference is maybe recruiting a player or two here differently compared to what I might have recruited last year. But for the most part, it has the base principles of arena football, and so we're excited for the opportunity.
Well, arena football is indoor arena. The concepts are different depending between leagues, and one thing I know about this year in the NAL is that we had some intense games, especially the championship game between Sioux City and Omaha this year. The excitement came down to the very end. Came down to the coaching, who made the right coaching decision at the very end of the game to determine the championship. This past year, you guys went to face Columbus Lions in the AIF championship. How was the journey? Because last year in the AIF, it looked like every time you were about to play an opponent, the schedule was changed in the last second, and you eventually got to play Columbus at the end. How was that journey for last season?
I think it was an up and down journey in the sense of, constantly changing, but I also think at the same time, it showed our guys determination and adversity that we had to, no matter what happened, what the opponent was, where we were going, to just show up and play football. And we talked about it all season about keeping the main thing, which is playing football. And so our guys did a great job of doing that all year long. And although we didn't reach our goal, we had a lot to look back on that we really accomplished coming, basically starting from scratch. And so I was very pleased with our guys and the character they brought and the attitude they brought every day. And so, we just got to continue to build on that moving forward.
We're going to switch it up a little bit. And now we're going to put Kevin back on the spot. Kevin, being the owner of an indoor team has its challenges. You got to, find a community. You got to build a fan base, like you said. But there's also other things that happen behind scenes that a lot of fans don't know. When the season ended against Columbus, what was the process on your end getting ready for your organization to make that step to join in the National Arena League, which we announced earlier in the week?
So once the season ended for us, we basically looked at the pros and cons of last season, right? So we're like, what did we do good? What did we do bad? What do we need to fix? Because knowing jumping into a bigger league that has higher expectations, we want to be able to meet those expectations, if not excel them. So we know moving forward, we have to go down to, hey, we got to meet up with the arena and make sure we have our production on point. We have this, we have that. What are we missing on the back end? Do we need to bring more people in to help with, marketing, game day operations, stuff like that? And it's positively impacted us to get that drive going. I mean, once we put the feeler out there and see how we're going to go about joining the NAL, and we got that insight of, it's going to happen. We knew from there, like, we couldn't just stop and sit back. It's basically starting from the very beginning again in a whole new league. You still have to work. Like, there's no off season. Like most people say, how, like, front office, they have a month or two off or a couple weeks off, and then they go into hitting the ground running again. Like for us, it just kept going. It was like a snowball effect. Like, okay, we're into a new league, higher expectations. We need to continue on and move forward to make sure we have everything we need. So when we kick off, we can shock the world. Like, hey, this is what we're about in a newer league.
So Jim talked a little bit about you guys, your name and colors and everything. With you guys going to the NAL, are you changing anything? Is the look going to look a little different? Because you guys had awesome uniforms, great look, great merchandise. Is any of that going to change?
No, we're going to keep everything that we have. We are changing one of our uniform concepts to a different color. We already saw that and what it looked like. I'm pretty excited about that one. Everything else, though, for merch, we may change merch around, but for the most part, everything is going to stay the same. I don't think we're going to throw in any kind of new designs that I'm aware of. But we do want to have more to present into this new league.
Full powder blue.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation, but that's a cool thing. But you talk a little bit about the transition and everything like that, and all the stuff that you guys have been doing. Just talk about how important it is for you guys to continue to build the community there because of how big Texas is with football, and especially South Texas and all that, and just how important it is to keep that as an option for people there in Corpus Christi with all the other things to do down there.
So I think the biggest thing we can take from this past season was when our players and coaches, when they were warming up and fans were trickling into the stands, they were actually interacting with them. So throwing them a football, talking to them, giving them high fives and stuff like that. And the kids, they talk about that, right? Once they go home, they're like, man, we went to a Tritons game. It was fun. We got to go again. We started actually doing like some mini football camps for like the YMCA and stuff like that, to be more out in the community, to have that interaction. So these kids can remember this and they look up to these role models so they don't get shy or pushed away from something they want to do when they grow up. So just being out in the community is the biggest thing for us. Our marketing rep, Melina Gosa, she does a great job, phenomenal job out there in the community. She is a woman of many trades. I don't know how she does it, being so busy, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day to do what she does, but she does it. She does it for us. And then having our coaches that are down there, having, our game day operations, who she's down there, she's helping out with the marketing side of things too. So every time we have the opportunity to go out to an event, we make sure we put that on social media to show like we're still engaged in our fan base. So we don't lose that, right? Because the last thing you want to do is start pulling away slowly and then you have some downtime and nobody really knows what happened. So when you try to make that come up surprise again, you're not going to get that fan engagement. You're not going to get that interaction of the excitement for people wanting to come back. So that's not what we're doing. We want to make sure we keep this going, and we put little things out there to keep the suspense real. And that's where we get most of our interaction from the fans. Okay, they're coming back. What are they doing? How soon are they going to make this announcement? What's going on? Are the coaches coming back? What players are coming back? Stuff like that. So that works for us.
So what does recruiting look like for you guys for this coming season?
From the little bit that I found out from my coaching staff, it's good. It's good. We have some good players coming back. We have some new players coming, from my understanding. So I think once we're able to announce those players, the new ones that we're signing, once obviously they hit free agency, I think that'll make a bigger impact into the community of what we're doing. It's going to be a tough training camp for our coaches. They know that. They know very well that they have a lot of work ahead of them, but all three of our coaches that we have, they're great with what they do. They communicate, they work things out, they hash things out, they make sure it's good for the organization, it's good for the team. So that's what made us get successful through our season that had bumps and roads in it last season. And, the issues of getting teams to play, but we made it. We made it all the way to the championship game, which was unheard of for a lot of us. And, we held our head up high. We took it. We went there. We played a good game, and just the outcome wasn't what we wanted. But we got to experience it, so now we know what we need to do moving forward.
Well, we asked this to Coach, but we can ask you, who are you most looking forward to playing next year?
Oh, man. It's going to be a good one. Obviously, we want to see Omaha, but I would like to take Coach Rez up with the Miners. Coach Rosignol, a good friend of ours. I like to take him up.
I think he's on the top of everybody's list.
Easy now. He may throw some strays in your direction. Except for
I'm used to it. Yeah, I'm already used to it. I'm good with it. But no, I mean, I think any team that we play at this point would be amazing for us. I mean, you got Coach Fred Shaw out there in Colorado. Fred Shaw was with the Gunslingers at one point in time when I was there, when he was coaching those guys. So I just think any opportunity we get to play these big name coaches and get to learn from them moving forward, that's just a benefit for all of us moving forward.
Agreed. Besides taking shots at Coach Rez, and everybody wants Omaha. What are the any upcoming events that people in Corpus Christi need to keep a lookout for upcoming promotions or ticket sales or anything that are on the horizon?
So we're pushing out our reservation for season tickets. I got to fix the link on that because there's a price issue with that. But once I fix that, we'll end up putting that out again on our social media. We will have it on our website to pick on that. I know we are going to be taking some of the old uniforms that we've had from this past season that the players wore. We're going to turn around and basically sell those so the fan bases down there, they can have it. Because a lot of people are asking, how can we get one of those jerseys that the players wore and stuff like that. So there's a little stuff we're going to be putting out here and there just to kind of keep the community engaged. And then obviously once we make bigger announcements, like again with the announcing of the NAL, that just took everybody by storm at that point.
Yeah, so I have a coach question for Coach. So, Coach, one of the things that I'm wondering about from your perspective is what really excites you about the new league as far as philosophy and maybe rule changes or anything like that you maybe haven't had the chance to do this season with the Corpus Christi Tritons.
I think, for the most part is, opening up of who you're recruiting, the caliber of player, I think will only grow and get bigger and better. Not that we had less, because what we recruited is we didn't recruit guys for the level that we were at. We recruited the best players that we could get. And so, but I think opening up, having better resources, I think is one. The competition level, of course, and then I think just the creativeness that you can use offensively and defensively in the NAL. I think it's something that I know I'm excited to explore and look forward to having more of a running game and stuff like that. And so, I think all those that are created in the NAL are exciting to get forward to use.
That's awesome. Love to hear that. What happened to Jim? All right. So Jim left, so we're running the ship now. So, Coach, Coach, you had a guy from the Omaha Beef that came and played for you for a little bit named Richie Anderson, and then he had the opportunity to kind of go play for another team up in the Arena League. Talk a little bit about kind of how it felt for you as a coach to see these guys get other opportunities after they played for you.
I think that's the biggest thing that we want to promote is that guys have an opportunity to move up. We all know this is a developmental league, and so we want to develop these guys for bigger and better opportunities. And so knowledge is meant to be shared. And so our coaching staff has a wealth of knowledge, and we try to use all our connections for our players. And we're excited to see him. We saw a couple other ones just move to another league, and so we're excited and happy for all those guys. And we were excited to have them for the time that we had.
Well, we had a who's out. She always chimes in there, Matt.
Connor Hickman Podney.
Yeah, Hickman. Yeah.
Connor from the Omaha Beef. He's a big fan of ours, longtime season ticket holder for his family. Wants to know how you feel about cowbells, Coach Chavez.
I've heard pretty much every type of noise making that you can ever heard of throughout my playing and coaching career. And so I've gotten really good at tuning out a lot of stuff. And so, bring on the cowbells.
Are you looking forward to playing in Omaha if that's on schedule?
I'm looking forward to playing anybody who's on our schedule. 1 week at a time will be our mentality, and we're more focused on ourselves at Tritons than we are any opponent. We are excited to see the schedule release and see where we're going, who's coming to our place. And so we have to protect our home, which we've done all year last year. And so we want to continue that streak. And so my focus is making sure that we get better individually, and then whoever's on that schedule for the week that'll be our focus.
I fully expect the coach to say that. It's like me and Jeff know a coach that he doesn't care. He just he'll sling everything out, but that's Coach Rez for you. Yeah. Is there any coaches out there in the league or in the NL right now that you look forward to going head to head with?
Particularly no. I think the biggest thing for me is, when I was playing, I played against Coach Shaw. I played against the defensive coordinator for Omaha, Coach Knight. And so Coach Knight was actually my teammate in Kansas City. And so, I think as you get older and your career develops and, being able to, see those guys at another level in different circumstances is always good.
Good answer.
Right.
What is that, Matt?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you said the question. My bad. We're going to transition here back to Kevin. Kevin, you started at Tritons. You were in San Antonio, and you were under Hector. Mm-hmm. Hector, I say, is one of the most genuine dudes. I've talked to him before. Haven't physically met him, but he also has another business that a lot of people don't know what he does. And you guys support it because you guys wear them. I know Coach Rez has a couple that he provides too. Explain the influence that Hector has with your organization.
Oh man, Hector's great. He's passionate about what he does with anything when it comes to football, his daily life with his family, to his manufacturing company, Triple S. Great quality uniforms. He's the reason why we went with him to get our uniforms, not only because he's a friend of mine, but the quality is great. I mean, these guys went through the thick and thin with these uniforms, and they lasted. There's not even a rip in them, not even a tear. Most uniforms, after one season, they're already getting torn up. They're however the case may be, and you have to sit there and order a new one or get it stitched up. So, Hector has been a great asset with everything that he's done. He's helped me out. I think between Hector, Jason, who was the other one that owned the Gunslingers, to Jody, who's the other owner for me on the Tritons, to Jonathan Young, I learned a lot from these guys, honestly. If it wasn't for them, and then, of course, having my family support, I don't think I would be doing this. I didn't know Coach Chavez from Adam, and when we got to talking the first time we sat down, put in for being the head coach, I learned a lot from him, as a mentor that he is for us. So, everybody that we have, we learn a lot from each other. We pick off of each other's brains, and we ask questions, and some answers we like, some answers we don't, but I mean, that's just the straight facts of it. So it's great having all these guys on board with us, helping us out and teaching us and learning a lot from them.
So my big question to you, Kevin, is what kind of game day owner are you? Are you one that you stand in the end zone you cheer the guys on? Or are you running around mingling with the fans? Or are you trying to take care of business? What's your game day look like?
So I do a little bit of both, right? So when I get in, these guys know it when it's pregame, they get ready and they get ready to get out on the field. I go in there, I give everybody a pregame dab up, right? Hey, let's do this, let's win, let's go out. And then I'm out there with the fans. I drink a couple beers with the family, enjoy, have a good time. And then obviously I have to make my rounds because certain issues arise. So obviously my phone's blown up, so I have to go and make sure those issues get fixed. But at the same time, I'm, talking to fans, and they're excited, they're happy, they're glad we did this. We brought this back since it's been long overdue. So it's all great. It's all great.
You're supposed to be drinking on the job, though?
You got to enjoy the perks of it, man.
Yeah, I mean, you get a few sips in here and there.
Yeah, well, that's a job that I like. Walking around drinking. I've had the opportunity to cover and work alongside a couple of organizations, and I know how day-to-day operations happen. I know how game day operation is. Sometimes it's pretty hectic. I was in Wheeling this past weekend. Rez is crazy. He was everywhere. Like, I don't know how he does it. I don't know how Chris Duffy does it. And you just walk around. Yeah, just go around, drink a couple beers, shake people's hand. I know there's a lot more stuff involved in game day than you're expressing.
Yeah, no, there is. I mean, we get in early, right, into the arena. So depending on the game day, when our time is, I mean, we're usually in the arena. We have a late game at like 7 o'clock at night. We don't go into the arena until about 1, 2 o'clock to get started. If it's an early game, like 3 o'clock, we'll be there by 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. We make sure like the field goals are hoisted up. We look at the field, the turf, make sure the turf is good. We make sure the dasher pads are up. If anything needs to be fixed cosmetically, we try doing that before fans come in, so we're out, so they don't see us putting stuff together. It's already done the night before with the operations crew that's there at the arena. We just come in and touch up the cosmetics that need to be touched up, and then once we're done with that, we get out. Then we come back and we basically enjoy it as a fan, do our drinking, having fun, having a good time. But there's more to it than what it really is when it comes to doing the operation stuff. So luckily for us, though, we have a great group of people that's with us in it. So it takes everybody from myself to Jody, to Hector, to Jonathan, to Jason, to our marketing rep, Melina, to our game day operation girls, Michaela and Isabel. So it takes everybody to get everything going before the fans show up. So this way, while we're done, I mean, you can ask Coach. There's times where we're still working on stuff and coaches and players are walking in, going to the locker room, getting ready. So we just try to get everything done before fans come in.
I'm going to ask the same question to Coach. Coach, do you drink on the job like Kevin here? Or no?
Definitely not before the game. Maybe after the game, but definitely not before the game. But to each his own.
All right. Matt?
Yeah, so I got a question that's kind of twofold for both Coach Chavez and Mr. Cecil. What are you guys most excited about with this new conglomeration of the National Arena League and this new iteration of what we're going to see starting in 2025 and moving forward?
I think the biggest thing is we're putting Corpus back on the map, and that was my biggest thing coming in. Is we started a foundation, and we want to leave a legacy with Arena Football Forever staying. So when people heard about the NAL, and even when I was talking about it ahead of, like, way before this whole thing came to fruition, people are like, "What? You guys are going to go NAL? That's crazy! Like that'll be awesome. That'll be fun." I've commentated in the NAL before. We've done this before, so I just think being able to be in this league moving forward is a big step for us, and it's a big step for us to stay in this league and compete with the top teams that are in this league.
Yeah, definitely, piggyback off of that. I think, continue to bring a great product to the city of Corpus Christi, to continue to build our relationship within the community, but then also take it up a notch with the NAL and traveling to different cities. I'm always, enjoying that part, but I think the level of competition going up, I think will only help us. And then with the number of teams we have into the league, I think we're just excited about the opportunity, and we're looking forward to making our own stamp in our own way.
So I have a question, obviously, for both ends. With the NAL, I'm not too sure what the AIF rules were, but in the NAL, everybody has to have a stream, and a good quality one at that. How good is it going to be to have, obviously, good tape on everybody, but a product for all your fans to watch your away games, your home games, everything?
So that's a great question. I actually left Corpus about, 4 hours ago. if not longer. I had a meeting with the arena, so that was the biggest thing I brought up was production, right? Because we knew back then we had some issues with production, and those were things that needed to get addressed, to get fixed. And it's funny because I was talking with the GM of the building, and a lot of the teams that I said we would be playing are managed under that same management group. So to him, he automatically said, he's like, nah, it's going to be competitive. We're all going to talk smack. We want to make sure that we have our production on in order, lined up, ready to go. Score bug, the sound, everything. So I mean, it's going to be a big step for us. I mean, we did a lot of learning in this past league, in this last season, to now understanding what we're getting into, where everything needs to be at. So after talking with the arena, we've actually had a great conversation today. So I hope and pray, which I think it will happen, that everything will be fixed and we won't have any issues moving forward. So that way, when we kick off the season, there's no running back and forth to the production booth to make sure stuff needs to get fixed. We've got it all taken care of right then and there.
Coach?
Yeah, I think for me, just looking back on last year, I thought we had one of the best streams, in our league last year. And so I was very happy with that. And, we always check the checkers. So I have a great gentleman and our equipment manager, Gregory Rogers, who does a great job filming our stuff for us. And he's just as important as everybody else with that film. And so, he's done a good job with us, traveling with us and filming and making sure we get great quality to self-scout ourselves and scout our opponents. And so we're looking forward to just taking it up a notch and, continue to grow.
Do you guys use VidSwap?
This past year we used Total.
Okay. That's usually IFL, a lot of NAL teams use VidSwap, so it's the same thing. I mean, it's the same
that's
device.
what we use as Huddle. So I mean, I get it. It's very easy to use.
They're both easy. Well, gents, first off, I want to say welcome to the NAL. Didn't want to keep you on too long on this episode. Again, for both of you guys, any upcoming events, tryouts, so forth? Kevin?
Nothing yet. I think once we have this league meeting at the end of the month, it'll give me a better idea on when we can do tryouts and do stuff that way, so I can relay it back to Coach Chavez and he can plan it with his coaches, and then we can go and game plan that early and then make an announcement officially when we would do tryouts.
Yeah, for me, I'm just excited about, evaluation and research. For me, this is a great time to learn from others and continue to break down film of different teams and opponents and figure out what our best game plan is. And at the same time, evaluating talent and then looking, not only in the city of Corpus Christi, but also the surrounding areas in South Texas. We've got a ton of talent down here. And so we just want to continue to do our due diligence and making sure that we're bringing the best product that we can to Corpus Christi.
So that's the benefit of being in Texas. There's a lot of football in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's one thing I bash. Kevin will know these people. The Smoking Guns podcast. That's like, you guys are lucky because if someone messes up on a team, you could just go down to your nearest high school and grab a guy who played there 3 years ago, and he'll be game day, game shape, game ready to play next time. So I think that's Texas for you. It's like Florida. There's talent everywhere, especially here in Jacksonville. Gents, I want to say thank you for coming on tonight. Again, welcome to the National Arena League. I look forward to covering your journey from this point on, because I know there's more news coming in the future for the NAL. Schedules come out. There's some matchups that we might be getting. Was it September? Is that what they said the schedule's going to come out?
October, I believe, is what they're looking at, is October 1st.
Okay, October. So we'll know who the matchups are. So who would be the first team to put quiet Matt down for one episode? Will it be Corpus? No one? But again, I want to say appreciate you guys coming on today's episode, and hopefully we get a chance to get probably do a show in Corpus Christi. Probably. I'll make the trip. I don't care. It's not that far from me. Well, actually, it's pretty far, but I'll drive anyways. Again, I appreciate you guys joining. Welcome to the league, and good luck at this off season. And we look forward to covering this off season and see what you guys put on the field in next March.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for the opportunity, and we look forward to you hearing a little bit more about the Tritons.
Appreciate it. Well, gents, that was the Corpus Christi Tritons organization, from the head coach to the owner. What are your thoughts there, Matt?
Yeah, I'm excited to see them come into the National Arena League. I know Corpus Christi, as we talked about, had a rich history in indoor football, and I just look forward to seeing that environment and that team come in and hopefully thrive and be a viable part of the National Arena League for 2025 and the future. Man, the future looks bright. I'm excited about the future of the league, man.
Jeff?
Hey, they have a good look. Like I've said it 1,000,001 times. They definitely look the part. I mean, logo looks fantastic. Merch is fantastic. I mean, color combination is great. I mean, they look the part. They seem to have a good team out there, good coaching staff, definitely a lot of veterans on that coaching staff. So, I mean, it's great that we get another chance to talk about another team. So, I mean, another addition to the league. It's just great to see the league expanding and going in the right direction.
We could technically say we're in kind of three corners of the United States: Idaho, Texas, West Virginia, Harrisburg. It's kind of three corners almost.
Yeah.
Not officially three corners, but we're there. It's nice that when you look at a league and it's called National Arena League, like you see our logo behind us, we actually go from the far west coast to the east coast. National is the key. But anyways, Matt, is there any intriguing matchups you think you would like to see Corpus play besides your beef? Because I know you're going to say the beef. Any intriguing matchups?
No, I mean, I'm excited for all the matchups, but I mean, it's going to be really cool to see like that powder blue that they have matched up against Sioux City if they're wearing either their red or their blacks. Like that matchup on the field with those two colors clashing is going to be really cool to look at it. As weird as that sounds as a fan of indoor football, but like I just think it's going to be cool to see all these different matchups next year. Wheeling with their blue and yellow, like West Virginia and all that, and I just think it's going to be. I just can't say enough about how excited I am for the future of the National Arena League. It's going to
Well,
be
if
great.
you're going by colors, you can get the Duke versus North Carolina color scheme with Corpus Christi versus Idaho.
Yeah, true.
It's basically Duke versus. You look at the color
Or
scheme.
like Connor said, you got Colorado versus Corpus Christi.
My apologies, Connor. I was looking at Lisa's comment right by yours. That's why I said she. My bad. I do apologize.
I have a strongly worded text message in my inbox right now.
Sorry, I've been doing shows all day today, so I kind of slip up. My bad.
Okay.
Jeff, there any type of possible besides Willing? Because I know he's Alexi Willing, but any matchups?
I think them and the Idaho matchup is going to be a good one because it's two teams on the rise that are trying to make names for themselves. So I feel like it's going to be a good matchup of, who's going to come out better. But yeah, I think those two teams are definitely on the rise. They're trying to make a name for themselves. I think it'd be a good matchup.
The one I'm going to say.
I think the coolest thing for me is to see how these teams adjust. Like I know they talked about how they built their teams for higher level competition, but now they have to build their teams for higher level competition. And that's going to be a lot of fun to see from my perspective.
Good point. Adjustment's key because we saw that in another league, Jacksonville and San Antonio. Kevin Woods was associated with San Antonio. They went to a new league. That adjustment period was like a couple of weeks. San Antonio figured it out quicker. Jacksonville didn't, and Jacksonville, that's 4-10. The one game I want, I like to see storylines. Coach Shaw, Corpus Christi. Coach Shaw has been connected to San Antonio's original OG3. He was there from the beginning with Robert Kent Jr. as a quarterback. See, and Hector comes in right there, right on the. See, I didn't see that until Hector said that. See, me and him think alike. That's it. That's it. Well, and also, you can have some little bit more history. You got Rez. You got that connection. Maybe that's because of Hector and so forth. But here's the thing that I really look forward to this league. We actually going to have unique matchups each and every week. Organizations like Corpus Christi this past season had a lot of their schedules changed at the last minute, and they had to play the same team look like every single week. And that's very hard to do. We saw that earlier this year for us, but we got the schedule situated. We got through. We had an epic clash. championship game in Omaha. But one of the games I like to see in the NAL with Corpus Christi, so I like to see that rematch against Columbus in NAL rules. Two teams transitioning to the NAL. Lions are coming back to the NAL. Is the Lions going to be the first team to lose their streak? Or is it Wheeling? Or is Omaha? So many storylines next year. So stop shaking your head, Matt, because it's going to happen. Someone's going to lose.
Honestly, I mean, then you have another streak. Corpus Christi is undefeated at home. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's another one. I mean, the storylines just keep building themselves this year in the NAL.
If anyone's doing the schedule, I like to help you because I can build up some juicy. Someone's going to look at it's like, why is Jim having us going 6 straight games on the road? Because the storylines are better on the road than they're Sorry, that's just me, but I'm not the one that makes the schedule. Any final words there, gents? We've been on for a while on this beautiful Friday evening here in the National Arena League.
The future's bright for the National Arena League. It just really is. That's just the bottom line.
Jeff?
Just looking to see who that 10th team is. I'm really excited about that. I mean, I want to find out who it is. I want to know, is it on the east? Is it on the west? Or is it down the middle? It could be down the middle. Who knows?
We do have evidence of someone knowing. Here's a live look.
That's cool. Carlito.
Leave it to Carlito.
We're going to get a cease and desist.
No, we're not. That's under 30 seconds. Anyways, gents, to the Corpus Christi family, welcome to the National Arena League. Again, I'm Jim. That's Jeff. That's Matt. We're kind of chaotic. Yes, we do a lot of wrestling puns. Brace yourselves. But we have fun here. We don't really take everything 100% serious. But when we do have news, we will bring on individuals on here that actually have news to inform you guys, like the commissioner of the National Arena League, coaches, owners, players, and so on and so forth. To the people of Corpus Christi, this game is about community. This game is about fun. We're having fun. And I like that you guys had a chance to tune into this episode. We'll be back on Tuesday night. Probably going to get a little stampede going when we interview some of the execs of the Harrisburg Stampede for Tuesday's episode next week. And we'll wrap up with Columbus next Friday night. And then we'll take a couple of weeks off. Oh, Ricky dropping some nuggets on the live stream. Who said I want to be? See, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm not going to say it. Nope. We're done. Done. I clicked the wrong button there. Jeff, any final words?
No, I mean that's it. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm not
going back from that. Like that.
You know that GIF? No, he goes. That's bait. Nope. I ain't touching it. Nope, I'm not touching it. Matt, any final words?
Nope, I'm good.
You're the same way. You don't want.
How dare you?
That's Ricky. He's throwing like a curveball. I'm like, nope. I'm going to sit on. I'd rather take the strike and take it to the bench. And like, nope, I ain't. Nope. I ain't touching it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this has been episode 154 of Inside the Walls podcast. We'll be back Tuesday night for more National Arena League coverage. If any breaking news happens, we will pop on and give you guys updated information. And I like to say this, if we're not saying it, it's most likely not real. And internet trolls will troll, but most likely they don't know what's going on either. Trust me, we get loaded with DMs because of them. But again, hopefully everyone's having a blessed day. If you're traveling this weekend, travel safe. Take your vitamins because you're going to need it. Me coming back from West Virginia, I don't know what happened maybe in that airplane. I blame Jeff. But before we close out the show, Jeff, you have some great news today.
Yep.
The little one has finally come home.
She has. She's made her way home. We made the drive this morning from Morgantown, so she's finally home. She's a month old today. We finally left the hospital. So,
Congratulations, my guy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So you know, no more 3 hours round trip to Morgantown.
No. Unfortunately, yes. No.
Hey, Congratulations, sir, because I know I was up there. You were like, went down there, came back, went down there, came back. You left me with Coach Rez. But, again, congrats. Hopefully the family's happy.
Oh, yeah.
Again, is the family there?
Oh, yeah. Yep. We've had quite a few people come in. Her uncle came in this afternoon. He lives about an hour and a half to 2 hours away in Youngstown. He drove down to see her. I've got more family coming down tomorrow and throughout the weekend. So the family's coming. My mom's flying in from Florida here in 2 weeks. So, I mean, it is what it is. And then Ricky. There we go, Ricky. All right.
He just ended the inning.
Three
amigos. Again, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations again, Jeff, Matt. Hopefully you're getting better. I'm fighting this stupid little freaking cold whatever I got. But we're good. We'll be back next week for another edition of the Inside the Walls podcast. That's Matt. That's Jeff. I'm Jim. We out.